You know those days when everything seems to be going sideways and you're wondering if you've lost yourself, your alignment, making these mistakes and feeling like you're just not really getting it and you're just, I don't know, going the wrong direction? Well, here's something I heard recently that really has resonated with me, and that's even your off days are still part of your path. The thing is that your physical mind is really only designed to perceive what has happened. It's like a camera lens, and your higher mind is the one who knows what's supposed to happen, what's happening. It's like the director of the movie. So sometimes we sit and we think, oh, I know how this is supposed to go. It's supposed to be like this. I planned my day to go like, this, and it's supposed to be like that. And, I had one of those days today. I'm like, oh, it's going to be windy later today. So I want to get out and make a video early before the wind kicks in. And, I want to do such and such. And I, got my gym that I go to and, got all these things I, need to do. And it didn't really go that way. Usually I like to sleep in, so I did that. And then I missed my chance to go and make a video. And then, of course, we have carpet cleaners coming today. So due to a lot of different circumstances, I wasn't prepared for it. And I'm sitting here trying to make up for lost time. And then they come while I'm still, putting things away. And then it's just this snowball effect of frustration, and then it's just like, okay, now I'm frustrated and angry, and now I'm judging myself for feeling frustrated and angry, and now I'm feeling judged by others. Oh, my roommate, she's gonna see me like being all angry, and she's gonna be like, oh, there he is being all angry again. And then it's just like, judging myself. And I'm sure you've been there in your own right. And then it's like, okay, now I'm just don't even feel like doing anything. And I have all these things I need to do. I got gym, I have calorie goals I need to meet. I wanted to make a video. There's other things I wanted to do. I have this one day off, and it's just this compounding effect of being frustrated. And that's because really I'm giving way too much of a workload to my physical mind, saying, I have to figure it all out. But the how, the when, the figuring it out is the job of the higher mind. And, on this planet, we've really been taught to give all of the workload to our physical mind. I need to figure this out. I need to do all this work. I have to figure out how things are going to go and, what I need to do. And so much of us, we're not taught to just surrender to the flow of life. And sometimes moments like I had today come up where it really forces you to surrender to the flow of life. Because, the higher self doesn't ever make mistakes. It sees you from, on top of the mountain, and you're in the valley, your physical self. And it sees your entire path so simply and easily. And it's like, hey man, you gotta go left here. And your physical mind is like, no, I gotta go right. I have this today and I need to do that, and I wanted to get this done and I really need to get this done. But it's like your higher mind's like, nah fam, nope, you need to go left. And then when you resist it, you really feel it, because you feel this frustration, maybe anger, maybe anxiety, whatever have you, sadness. And then you just kind of you're spinning your wheels in the mud, and you're just going nowhere fast. And if you're there right now, then, something I've really found to help me get out of that is to just let myself rest, to let myself sit there, do whatever it is that you like to do that helps you recalibrate and rest. And, you can just sit there and do nothing. That is completely okay. Sitting there and resting in that moment is part of, what you need to do in order to move forward. Because, again, you're giving your the job to your physical mind of, I need to figure this out, I have this I have to do, maybe, because like I talk about the formula, it's like following your excitement. That's part of it. So it's like, oh, I needed to make these videos today. Making videos is part of my personal excitement. But then I got, into this mood, and obviously there was circumstances beyond my vision that got in my way of that. So things shifted. And now what was part of my excitement in that moment was to sit and to rest and to just allow the energy to pass through me. To sit with it, not to resist it, to sit with it and recognize that I'm choosing to have these emotions. Why do I believe it serves me to have these emotions? Why do I believe it serves me to try to control everything and make it all fit into where it needs to be? And as soon as I sat there and let myself, without guilt, okay, that's the important part, is not judging myself for doing nothing, not sitting there and being like, I need to get up, I have so many things to do. No, I just sat there and I'm like, whatever. If it needs to get done, it'll get done. Whatever. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to do what is currently what I want to do the most, which is sit here and do nothing. And I have my own rituals, of course, of, doing and dealing with things, like sitting in my own way. But whatever works for you is whatever works for you. Sometimes you need to sit and do nothing and recalibrate. And this is part of your path. This is part of progression and productivity, to do nothing as you allow yourself to process the frustration because you gave too much of the workload to your physical mind. And that's understandable because your physical mind wants the predictability. It wants the cohesion, the order. And oftentimes it's like, oh, I did this and I got this result, so I need to keep replicating that. But the thing is life is dynamic. And sometimes what you think you need is vastly different than what you actually need. And I was given an opportunity to do that today. I was given this clear example of how I'm trying to go left and my higher mind is like, no, you need to go right. And I resisted and I felt the frustration. But, I'm learning to let go of that, so I was able to move forward from it more quickly. And I did get a lot of things I needed to get done today. My house is kind of a mess because we're dealing with different things. So there's still a lot to do, but it'll get done. It'll get done. It doesn't need to get done right now. What I'm doing right now is what I want to do. And I'm just, making this video, speaking from the heart. A different video than what I really originally planned to make. But I want to get into this a little bit more clearly for you so you understand what the division of, labor is for your persona. So the higher self conceives. Any thought you've ever had, any idea, has never, ever, ever come from your physical brain. It's come from your higher self. Any inspiration, any, impulse, any idea, any thought, imagination, all comes from the higher self communicating to you. Usually via excitement, of course, because that's the best way to get you motivated to do anything, is through excitement. But it holds the blueprint, the big picture view, like I said, from the mountaintop. It knows where you're going, why you're going there, and how the synchronicities will weave to get you there. That's something you're never going to find out. You're never going to know with your physical mind. Your physical self is never designed. It cannot know how things are going to happen, how it's going to unfold. This how exists outside of the time-bound perspective of your senses. And when you trust that your excitement is the higher self's instruction, communication directly to you, you stop trying to reverse engineer what's, really meant to be going on and taking on this extra workload. And your brain receives like an antenna. It's like a radio. It converts this non-physical inspiration, communication into physical impulses, ideas, nudges, sparks, emotions. It's the receiver, not the generator. So you're not supposed to invent the ideas, you're supposed to just allow them to come to you. By being in the right frequency, which is, not the frequency of frustration because you're trying to figure it out. You're trying to take on the workload of, I have to do this and I need to do that, and I need to control and it has to go this way. And the physical personality mind perceives. Its job is to witness and interpret what has happened, not to control what will happen. Your physical personality mind is here to simply, perceive and enjoy and learn from the manifestation when it occurs, whatever it is that's going on in your life. So, like I said, as you're trying to figure out the future, whatever it is, you're trying to force things to be the way you think they should be, it becomes, your physical personality becomes overloaded and anxious because it's not designed to do that. And you're giving it a job it was never, ever designed to do. So, the anxiety is not failure, it's just feedback saying that you're carrying something that isn't yours. And so much of our society has taught us that the physical mind is the one who needs to be in control and the one who needs to figure it out and predict and understand and everything. But what it really needs to be doing is to just receive and respond. To just take action on what you're excited to do, whether that's a big, grandiose, career path, or whether it's just sitting there and doing nothing at all. Because maybe your higher self is just realizing you need a moment to chill out, and you just need to sit there and, have some tea, just chill out, do nothing, meditate, take a nap, whatever have you. And like I said, the physical mind is, it's like it thinks it's in control. So it's like, this action I took before, it worked and it got me this result. So maybe I should just repeat it. And then it doesn't go the way you think it should. And then you're stuck thinking you're the problem or you're doing something wrong or whatever have you. So again, it's like I'm sitting there thinking that I'm getting this all wrong. I'm getting frustrated because it's not going the way I planned it out. But this predictability is not your job. It's the job of your higher mind. So we're going to go into this formula and how it applies to this, job delegation between your persona and your higher and physical mind. So, step one of the formula is to act on your excitement. And this is your physical mind listening to the higher self's impulse. Step two, do it fully. As much as you can, take it as far as you can go. You use your focus, the physical mind's power, to stay present and express that impulse. Step three is to release the outcome, to have no insistence or assumption as to how it should go. Because the outcome is the higher mind's territory. The outcome, how it happens, when it happens, that is the higher self's job. It's not your job. Step four is to stay positive in the positive state no matter what happens. Not denying, negative emotions, not denying what happens. And because this is, you now understand that every setback is simply the higher self adjusting the path. Step five is to update your beliefs, to let go of the negative ones that are coming up, that are being shown to you through these negative emotions. So, manifestation and alignment and following your path and all that stuff, it's not about feeling good about everything all the time. It's about staying conscious and being okay with right now, even when you don't feel good. And the paradox is the more often that you're just okay with when things are off, you're okay with not being great, with, not being how you prefer to be, is the closer you get to being how you truly are, to being how you prefer to be. because, you know, the resistance is just you digging your heels into the mud and getting nowhere fast. So the sooner that you're just going to be okay with, you know, not being where you should be and not being positive, is the sooner you get to where you need to be, where you ought to be. So those days when nothing is flowing, those are often the recalibration days. The universe is rearranging things behind the scenes while you rest, feel, or learn patience. What you're going through is exactly what you need to go through. This is the lessons, the challenges that are required for you to get to this place that you kind of envision. You know, your future self is looking back at you right now and seeing that this was exactly perfect. And you can't rush these things. You can't rush art. You can't rush your becoming. The moment you stop fighting the off day, it becomes part of your path. But if you're going to sit there and you're going to resist it, and, you know, you're going to be like, oh, it really needs to be this way and I should have gotten this done. Well, I mean, you're learning that you're still holding on. You're still doing things that you shouldn't be doing, which is trying to control and predict and all those things. But again, it's just freezing everything up and getting you nowhere fast. So if today feels messy, or you remember having those kinds of days where everything is just going wrong and you're frustrated, you didn't fall off your path. You're just going through a slower, deeper, richer chapter where you're really integrating a powerful lesson, because you're a powerful soul and you came here to experience powerful lessons. Because once you finally let go, you're gonna spring back into actual positivity that is grand and nuanced and beautiful. Even your off days are on path. And as always, thank you for watching.